Starting off with my foundation, I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I'm just buffing that all over my face with a beauty blender. I really love beauty blenders or just any sponge really. I just think it gives the most perfect coverage and it really doesn't leave any streaks. It's also very easy to use. If you haven't already had a foundation sponge, I would definitely try one out. The Real Techniques ones are also really good. I have a lot of those in my kit and in my personal collection. I really like this concealer for underneath my eyes. It's a really good everyday concealer that I have been repurchasing for years now. This is the L'Oreal concealer. It's in the number W4 to 5, and I put it underneath my eyes and I'm just going to blend it out with my sponge. Again, another reason why this sponge is so easy. You have less brushes to clean because you're dirtying less brushes. So I'm just going to blend that underneath my eyes. I try my best to not put it so far up on the creases, like the creasy areas of my eye, and I just try to drag it up. So that's just a tip to try to prevent too much creasing from happening. When I'm priming my eyes, you could use a concealer for your eyes, but if your eyes tend to get a little bit creasy or they're too oily, sometimes the concealer just won't really do it. So I like to use an actual eye primer. A really good one that I really like is the one from MAC. It's the new 24-hour one, and it's very similar to the Urban Decay one. They're very intense, high quality primers. But for now, I'm using the Benefit one, and I'm going to blend that all over my eyes with my sponge. And then I'm going to set everything. So I'm using the Airspun. This is a translucent powder that I've been using a lot lately. I don't really know 100% if I love it or not, but for now it's been doing the job. So for my my bronzer and blush, I'm using Shadester. First, I'm using Shadester. This is the complexion brush I've been using forever now, and it's just a really good fluffy brush that I really do enjoy. Actually, when did I think I dyed or I painted these brushel handles in 2012. I have a video about it. So that's how long this brush has been in my collection. But anyways, I'm using Shadester to cover all the nice bronzy areas. This look isn't so intense, so I like to just kind of, but I definitely do like to bronze my face whenever I'm doing like a very daytime appropriate look. One thing you can do to clean up the edges is just take some of that translucent powder and then crisp up the bottom. You can do this before as you're bronzing or after. I like to do it after, but there's times where I've caught myself to do it before. Then I'm just taking a smaller brush just to bring some color into my look. This makeup was for a driver's license that I had to renew because I changed my last name once I got married. So I was really trying to make sure to emphasize some features but also keep it natural. So this is why I was kind of playing with certain areas and highlighting certain areas and disguising certain areas. So for my brows, I'm just quickly filling them in. And for the crease color, I just took a bronzer. Bronzers work perfectly fine with looks like this. Very simple looks always call for powders and face products that can double up as eye products, which is one of my favorite things to do, honestly. So I'm using my bronzer just to kind of add some dimension into my eyes and using just my fluffy brush with that. Decided to go with a lighter color, this kind of light beigey type of color, and it's a matte color because I knew in the pictures that the shimmer wouldn't really show through anyways, so I just decided to stick with the matte. Honestly, you could have used a face powder or just another like bronzer color, but I just decided to stick with the palette for some reason. It really doesn't matter, so you could have just brought the bronzer all the way down, but just make sure that you blend that on with the bronzer so that the colors mix together nice and yummy. Now I'm using this deeper brown. It's a very neutral toned color. I just wanted to have a little bit of shadow in there for my photo. And I think it worked out really well. But sometimes when I'm doing like a winged eyeliner, if there's no shadow there, it tends to look a little unfinished. So I always recommend to have something deeper in the crease. With the black eyeshadow, you can use any black eyeshadow. You don't have to use an eyeliner or a liquid or a gel. And you can just take an angle brush. But I like to just drag that along the lash line first. You don't have to have one smooth stroke along the lashes. You can do little etching motions the way I'm doing right now, just so that you can get that perfect line. But the cool thing about this particular look, especially with an eyeshadow, is that it's very forgiving, so you don't have to perfect that eyeliner. It doesn't have to be so smooth, and you can rub it back the other way so that it smudges and blends out a little bit better. Also, the thing I like about this is that if you really, really mess up, like totally, you can always just rub it out. Oh, that sounds bad. You can always rub it away with like an like a sponge or a Q-tip or something like that, and then start all over. So I curled my lashes and I'm making sure to put a ton of mascara. I am using the Voluminous Black Mascara from L'Oreal. I really like this one, especially the waterproof one. I put mascara on the top and bottom eyelashes. I wanted my eyeballs to pop a little bit more, so I brought some of that black eyeshadow down very, very close to the lash line, only at the outer edge so that my eyes looked a little bit whiter and brighter. And ideally for me, for my photograph, for my license, this was kind of what I wanted my eyes to look like. Now I'm taking that blush, I'm just taking Peaches blush from the palette I showed you earlier, and it's from MAC. And I'm just adding that. I'm adding actually a lot more blush than I'm used to. Usually I kind of tend to not do so much blush on a day to day, but for this particular day when I was retaking a photograph, I wanted to make sure it was a little bit deeper. Now I'm taking some highlighter. Honestly, looking at my photograph for my license, I don't know if it really showed, but it made me feel better, which is what I wanted. I wanted to make sure I was feeling good and that I had the confidence to smile semi okay for a new picture. So that's what I wanted to add to my highlight. This is Global Glow by MAC. And then I did want it just to be a little bit brighter, so I added Soft and Gentle on top to very targeted areas of my cheekbone, and I thought it made a big difference. And I also made sure to highlight my brow bone. This again makes me just feel better. And then I wanted to use a natural lip, but something that enhanced it. Not a dark lip where I'm like, ooh, I really shouldn't have worn that lipstick. Just something that's close to my lip color, but a little bit more vivid. So this lip liner is just an old one from Coastal Scents. I think it's a natural. And then I added lipstick on top, which, to be honest, shoot, I can't remember it. Maybe it was Midi Mauve. Pretty sure it was Midi Mauve. So I added it on top, but obviously the lip liner underneath showed through a little bit more. And this is kind of the look that I was going for, but I did want a little bit of shine just in case there was some dimension in the photograph. So I added some of the Elixir from Maybelline on top, only in the very center. So hopefully you enjoyed this look that I did on myself. The picture came out pretty good, so hopefully it comes out good for you too. Bye guys!